Evening VC, Dave here. So it is a huge day today. It is Phil Collins' birthday today. So you know there's huge going-ons over at Mazzy's house. I can't even imagine the party that they're throwing down out in Seattle. But, and I've got just a few records to show. Now, I'd show you all my Genesis records, but when Bill was in town last here in Charlotte, you know, he took all my Genesis with him. So if you ever wondered why Bill has all that Genesis, well, now you know. And I haven't got any of them back. It's disturbing. But and speaking of disturbing, you know, I went out to Noble Records today, and there's something I really wanted to pick up. I wanted to pick up one of those, you know, satellites that have the Jewish space lasers in them that start forest fires. Because, man, that's hot right now, literally. And I was just gonna get one on Amazon, but I couldn't get the free Prime. So headed up to Noble Records. Wanted to get my space laser. Talk about vehicles everywhere. It was mayhem in there. So I went in there and they were out of the lasers, but I did pick up Mal Waldron Trio, Free at Last on ECM, a German pressing. This is the first release on ECM, and this is a thing of beauty. Dead mint copy of, at least the record is the cutout. And I think this is a second pressing from Germany from 1970. So, really stoked to find this. These rarely pop up. There was a recent reissue that was, I think it's a little bit more than what he was charging for this, for an early pressing. I think it's a double and it has maybe a bonus track or something like that on it or whatever, but this is a phenomenal record. I just spun this. It sounds incredible. And there's 3 tracks aside. It's Mal Waldron somewhat delving into free jazz. I wouldn't call this free jazz, personally. Because even on the B-side, they do Willow Weep for Me, which is a ballad. But there's definitely some outplaying here and there. It's almost more modal to me than it is free. But it's absolutely fantastic. And I don't even know these other musicians. Isla Eckinger on the bass and Clarence Becton on the drums, and they both have really good solos spread out through this record. And it is different playing for Mal, for sure. I just don't know if I would call this free, but Mal Waldron Trio, Free at Last, so they titled it Free. But again, not a space laser, so a little bit disappointing, but did grab that. And I did run into another VC member, Zonkman, Mr. Bender. So that was pretty cool. He was down from the Winston area, and he picked up the copy of Badlands that Dylan had, which is a hard record to find. Just asked Tim. And he picked up the Holden record. He found some good stuff, some German Doors. But Dylan had got a huge collection from a DJ that had been stationed in Germany. And a lot of German pressings and the like. But so I'm wondering if this actually came from that collection, being a German pressing. Possibly. Not sure. I think he got this beforehand. Just a couple other records that have come in the door, not many, but some really good stuff. This record in particular is one that Teddy showed, and I jumped on it, finally. Well, I found one in the States. It's a record from Sweden. This is the Anna Hagberg Attack, and this is the album Lena, so I think their second album. And you want to talk about free jazz, this is free jazz at its finest. It's got some elements of Albert Ayler, and then it's got some some sounds to me with the piano in there, like later McCoy Tyner. Man, this is one of the best jazz records that came out last year. It did make my top list, and I finally picked up a copy. It's just a used copy. Showed up in Florida randomly. Saved me the hassle of waiting 3 or 4 months to get it from Sweden. So yeah, it's on Omlott Records and recorded in Stockholm back in December of 2019, released in 2020. But Anna Hagberg on the alto, boy, she's lights out. She hits you in the mouth in all the right places. Just great album, highly recommended. Honestly, like if you want to delve into free jazz, this might be a good starting point because it's not too crazy. I mean, the beginning is just the first track, but if you move past that first part of the first track, there's so much beauty on this record. I mean, absolutely. It's almost more, I wouldn't call it modal, but it's just fantastic record. And then I got one package from Permanent. I hadn't got stuff from them in a while. They've kind of changed things up a little bit. No longer free shipping after $40. That kind of sucks. So it's $5 shipping on everything, which isn't too bad. But it does take it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get anything from them. At least here on the East Coast because of the USPS being in utter shambles. But yeah, they have the records though, and so here we go. Cave In, White Silence. I had been looking for a copy of this for a long time. This is phenomenal. This is Cave In from Massachusetts. This is more of their metal end of things with this one on Hydra Head. I can't remember what year this came out originally. Oh hell. But yeah, the last track on this record, what the hell's the name of it? Reanimation. Check that out on YouTube. Real slow, beautiful acoustic guitar, and then gets heavy. Great vocals, great lyrics. Phenomenal song. I've played that song over and over and over and over and over now. It's one of those in your head songs. But yeah, there's some really good heavy stuff on here. Sing My Loves, track 3, and Vicious Circles, track 4, stand out. But yeah, this is a band that toured with Foo Fighters when they got big with some of their more commercial efforts that came out prior to this, like Antenna. But there's some good heavy shit. Yeah, and they just did a collab video last night live with Every Time I Die. It was fucking awesome, and I did pick up the 7-inch from that, so I'm looking forward to picking that up down the road once it's finally pressed. Cave In, White Silence, and then also this reissue of Augustus Pablo presents Ital Dub, mixed by King Tubby. This is on, what is this on? Clock Tower Records out of Canada has done a bunch of dub reissues, and they're really done well. This sounds great. Really dig the beginning of the first side. The second side's not as good, but it's still a great dub record. Yeah, that's everything. I hope everybody's well, and only you can prevent forest fires. Peace.